Bowers Game Corner presents Gen Con Video Bonanza 2016. Brought to you by Gutshot Games and their Gen Con release, Headhunters, a collectible card game and a collectible toy. And H.E.A.D Games, makers of Looting Atlantis and Conspiracy. Look for Pinball Showdown on Kickstarter soon. Also brought to you by the generous support of these companies and our fantastic Kickstarter backers.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for more of our Gen Con Bonanza Blowout coverage brought by some of our amazing sponsors, one of which we're actually at their booth with Gutshot Games. I'm really excited right now because I'm talking with Ben Shikoski about their upcoming release, Headhunters, which is coming out later this year, I believe, but he's going to tell us all about it, right, Ben?
That's right. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. First day, so everything's good. So this is Badru. He's a headhunter. And I like to say he has everything he needs in his head. So we can see that he has everything. So we have a measuring string. This string comes with a winder. It unwinds. The string is going to be used for line of sight because it's a miniatures game that you move around on the table. It's going to be used for movement, so it's a guidance system. It's also a targeting system, and it has range. So short range, medium range, long range. So some of your attacks have different ranges. We have combat dice. We'll get to that in a second. We have the platforms. Everything here is prototype, of course. Some things are more finished than others. So the figure is going to be moving on a platform, so it has a precise location on the table without having a board. Okay. This is an aura. When he has an aura, it sort of slides right on his feet just to show that he has it. Okay. And this is the deck of cards. This is sort of the most important part. This is where a lot of the depth of the game is. So the acronym HEAD in Headhunters stands for Heroes of Every Age and Dimension. So as you can see, he's some sort of terrifying jackal man from Egypt. We also have Zeno, who is a robot, but he wants to be a pacifist, but he's a robot assassin, so it's very sad. We have Eric. He's a Viking. He's just a regular Viking. He has some magical stuff. This is Lechuza. She's a creature from Mexican mythology. She's a witch bird. She can turn into an owl, and she pretends to be a baby to kill people. She's horrific. So super family friendly. No, it is. So as you can see, some are futuristic, some are the past, some are mythological. There's going to be 10 total, and the game is expandable, but it's not collectible. So when you buy the figure, you got all the cards and everything that I showed in the head when you buy it, and you can buy whoever you want. You know who you're buying all the time. It's not a blind reveal, and it's a full universe. There's a short story for each character. We hired an author to do that. So and how it all works and why these guys are all fighting is all fully realized. So the gameplay, sort of briefly, is... All right, so every character has health cards. I showed that to the microphone, but I should show it to the camera instead. And every character has 5 health. These are Badru's health cards. When you take damage, you just take one from the top and put it on the bottom. Okay, this is their movement speed. So as you can see, they weaken, they get slower, but sometimes you also get special abilities. So he can make melee attacks as ranged attacks and vice versa. When he's at 3, when he's wounded, he loses that ability. If he was healed, he could get it back. Okay. When he's down to 0, you've won the game. That's the object of the game. Okay. There's terrain cards. So he has a Tomb of Kings. He also has some oases. So they're all sort of themed, obviously, to the characters. These cards start in play, and the figures can actually go in them. These are blocking walls, so these block. You can't move through them or see through them. This is a hindering wall, so the figures can actually... this is a prototype again. It will have a clip so it doesn't fall off. He can move through there and be in there, and when he's in there, he has cover, and he also might get the power from the building. These are oases. These are different... These are all the same card. There's multiples of these. And these start in play, so everyone has starting terrain. Okay. We have attacks. There's lots of card types. We have attacks. We have melee attacks. That's this little fist symbol here. We have ranged attacks. Okay. Melee attacks, your bases need to be touching like this. Ranged attacks, you need to be at least 1 hex away. So that's another reason we have the hexes, to really make that precise. Defenses get played face down. And then when someone attacks you, if you have the condition here, like after you roll your defense, light armor, that means you get to reroll. Okay, so you reveal those when you're attacked. There's movement cards. The figures can do a basic move, which is just a move, but doesn't do anything else. The movement cards are special. Like this one has flight. He flies on this boat of ancients. And it flies, which means it can move over buildings. It can fly over characters, for example. There's another defense. There's special cards. They just do whatever they say on the text. And there's even units. Badru has enlisted the help of Set, the god Set himself. So the unit goes onto the board, and this card will move around just like as if it was a figure on a base, and will help Badru.
So is this a 1v1, or is this how's this going to work?
Single figure game. So it's card-driven, single figure game. So the cards let us do single figure, because single figure could lead to just sort of moving together and bashing. A lot of the strategy is there is deck building in the game as well. And the strategy, like when you have your hand, depending on your hand, the tactics come in. So if I have a lot of attacks, then I might want to be aggressive for that turn. If I have moves and defenses, I want to play defensives and sort of, retreat a little bit. The action system. So you have 2 actions on your turn. It's this little handy-dandy thing right here. You can do a basic move, which means move without playing a card, and you move up to the speed of your guy. So if he's at 4, this is 3 symbols, so you can move all 3 segments. So pretty fast, but in a straight line. Okay. You can play a card. Playing a card is an action. And then you can refresh your hand if you need to. So you just take turns doing 2 actions each turn. The dice system. So we have the dice here. We have attack symbols and defense symbols. Those are pretty standard. You want the attack ones when you're attacking. You want the shields when you're defending. This symbol is advantage. And you have advantage in this game. Either the attacker and or the defender can have advantage on any attack. You have advantage if you're attacking from behind them. So if you're ever attacking someone from behind, you have advantage. And what that means is when you roll, that advantage, if you're attacking, you have advantage, counts as a sword. Okay, so you want to. The game's a lot about angles and getting in the right spot to make the attacks to light up these advantage symbols, so you have more of a chance to hit. So you roll those. If I had advantage, let's say I rolled that would be 2. The defender has to roll. They could have advantage if they have cover, for example, if they were in the building, or if the line of sight moved through a blocking wall, or another character. And they want to roll and just match the number of attack pips. The other thing is the deck building I mentioned. There's the 36-card deck that comes with every figure, but you can mix and match those in groups of 6 between figures as you want. So some of the cards come with the figure and have to stay with the figure, like his special cards have to stay with him, but the other ones you can swap whatever you want.
It sounds like it's pretty easy swapping. There's no complicated rules to building your deck.
Pretty easy. You gotta have one group of movement cards, but it can be any movement cards from any of the figures that you have. The Kickstarter's coming out this fall.
So I always ask this whenever I hear it's an upcoming Kickstarter. If this explodes, goes big, are anything planned in addition if it gets big?
I mean, there's lots of stretch goals that we have ideas for sure.
Anything you can reveal? Anything cool, or too early?
Too early, I'd say, for that, yeah. And it's 2+ players. It's certainly great one-on-one, and we really focused on trying to make it single-figure one-on-one game work, because that's, in my opinion, that's sort of a really challenging holy grail thing to do if you can do it. But it works great with 3-4 players as well.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Ben. That is Headhunters from Gutshot Games, one of our amazing sponsors. Be sure to check them out down below. If you're enjoying this Gen Con coverage, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, or in the comments below. Let me know, would you become a contract killer? $1 million, one job, but you have to get away with it. Would you take the risk? I personally, I would do it. Ben, would you?
No, and I don't like that you would.
I was joking. Jokes. All right, but let me know in the comments below. Would you do it? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
This was brought to you by Headhunters from Gunshot Games, Pinball Showdown from Shoot Again Games, these great companies, and fans like you.